Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Blue Demon Exchange, the latest on DePaul basketball right here for you. I'm Zaidman, the voice of the Blue Demons, pleased to be joined by the head coach of DePaul men's basketball, Dave Leitao. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? I hope you're staying safe.
That's the whole key, and healthy, and we hope you are too. I want to talk about some of the newcomers that are going to be attending DePaul and playing for your basketball next season, because it has been a very busy offseason for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of goes all the way back to last fall when we talked about our roster and what we might need with the limited amount of scholarships that we had. I didn't want to go out on a limb and start signing a bunch of guys in November and not knowing, what our needs were or even having the scholarships available. So we're very particular in how we went out and tried to look at. We were fortunate enough to get a young man from Toronto, Canada, Elvis, who's a dynamic ball handling guard. Kind of giving Charlie a little bit of a break, as we talked about in previous times, of somebody that can put the ball in the defense and can score, very good in the pick and roll, and a very aggressive mentality as a basketball player. So we were happy to sign him in November. And then as we transitioned through the season and, with the early departure of Paul Reed and the scholarship two coming available, we wanted to make sure that we continue to fortify ourselves. We were very fortunate to sign 4 players this spring and become more proficient in the backcourt. First off was Courvoisier McCauley, who kind of in the realm of Max Strus was a Division II All-American. Averaged over 20 points a game on a team that went 32-1 before this season was cut short. A dynamic shooter and scorer who add a lot of excitement to our basketball program. And then Javon Freeman, who is a local product from here in Chicago at Whitney Young, went to Valparaiso and decided to transfer back home. And another dynamic scorer like Courvoisier, he averaged over 19 points a game in a very good league. And so 2 guys that are very potent from the offensive side of the basketball. And then fortunate enough to get a grad transfer, which we've been successful in times gone on by, and a guy named Ray Salverni, who comes from Monmouth University. He's a graduate transfer, as I mentioned, will come with a tremendous amount of experience. He was a second-team All-MAC performer on a team that has traditionally done very well under King Rice. And so guy's got New York City ties and somebody, from that area that we've tried to recruit. Well, lastly, we added Brian Patrick as a sharpshooter who comes to us from Purdue, Fort Wayne, somebody who we really wanted and needed to stretch our defense to give us more opportunities both in the front court and in the back court. What we talked about before is fortifying our ball handling responsibilities, more perimeter scoring, and diversify our lineup in a way that we can score and distribute with the best of them. So very happy and pleased with what we've done thus far.
Yeah, obviously the key is to be able to find guys who complement the core on your team. But off the court, are there things that you look for that make these players right for DePaul?
Yeah, so as we challenge our guys, both good and bad, as we ask certain things of them on a day-to-day basis, the thing that is most critical for me is I don't want it to always be the first time that they've heard certain instructions, and sacrifices or things that they need to do to get better. So they understand structure and they understand, what it is to be asked to do some certain things and share more than anything in themselves. And I think that's the most important thing I look for in a player is, not just his exploits on the court, but the background in which he comes from. And I think all of those guys are ready, willing, and able to do what's necessary, not only to be good players on this level, but to understand how it's got to be done and walking into a program that has a core group of guys and being able to contribute to that core to make everything work to the best of our ability so that we can win a lot of games.
And as soon as these newcomers walk through the door, there's a standard that's been set because of the returning players that are at DePaul as you built this culture of Blue Demon basketball. What is that standard that will immediately greet these new players?
Right. Well, that word culture gets used across the board, and I don't know if everybody has a specific definition. For us, it's about how we take care of our business on a day-by-day basis. Having gone through what we went through last year and talking a lot about it as you and I have, it's understanding the highs and lows of what makes chemistry on any team and any locker room really good. That they know and understand every day what's asked and required of them, both on the court and especially off the court. And so when you have that group that become more the teachers than the learners, and I think you have a really good opportunity. Then when you add to it the kind of pieces that we had, one from a talent standpoint and two from a personality standpoint, then you have an opportunity to put both of those groups together, understand why you're doing those things, and wanting to win at the highest level, because you're going to face those same kind of situations both off the court and especially on the court in tight basketball games. We're going to need to understand exactly what's going to be asked from you, the guy to the left, the guy to the right, and do it at a moment's notice. And so it's a very delicate balance sometimes, because everybody wants individuality, but at the same point in time, in order to win as a group, you have to do it as one. And I think we have the kind of mindset after what we've been through and the kind of talent to make that happen.
Really looking forward to see what happens. Hey, Dave, thank you so much for giving us the latest on DePaul basketball.
Always a pleasure spending time with you, Zach. You're a good friend, and I appreciate being with you.
Likewise. Please stay safe, be well, and take care, DePaul.